Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Style and Glam Runway TV. I am your girl, Janice Patterson, and today we are going to take a deep look into the modeling industry, from ripping the runway and jet setting all over the world to modeling scams and dealing with the pandemic. I'm inviting three beauties to help me go over this discussion and join me for some important talk. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
All right, guys. So please welcome Shivani Vichare, Bryana Harris,
Hi.
and Rachel Rakovan. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
So we're going to get right into, like I said, there's so much to cover with the modeling industry. And I don't think we do enough to talk about the modeling world, right? We talk about fashion, we talk about beauty, but we don't get into modeling. So are you guys ready to dive in?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love it. All right, so I'm going to start with Bryana. If somebody wanted to know a little bit about who you are, what would you tell them?
I would tell them I'm a mother first. I love math, so in the work field, I want to do accounting someday.
Oh, wonderful.
I also have an interest in being a model. And that's pretty much it.
And I have to tell everyone that you have I think we've been a model for about a year, right?
Yeah.
A little over a year.
Yes, about 2.5. That's when I stepped in, you know.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first met you, I really thought that you were in the modeling world for years. You were so professional. And actually, I absolutely, it was a breath of fresh air. I absolutely loved your demeanor.
I appreciate it.
So Rachel, what would you say? Who is Rachel? Who's Rachel Rakovan?
I'm Rachel. Hi. I'd like to say that I'm a modeling and pageant expert at this point. After 20 years of being in the industry, I think that's considered an expert.
Oh, you're the veteran. You're the veteran.
I'm okay with saying I'm an antique.
No, not antique.
A really good looking antique.
Not an antique at all. Although I would say 20 years, 20 years being in this industry is, I mean, such an accomplishment. It really is.
Oh, thank you. Licensed as an instructor in 2002, and I've taught for agencies for a total of 3 years, and I now am teaching out of Ignite Studios, pageantry and modeling, and also some fitness, depending on the need of the client. Yeah.
I love that. Now, Shivani, we have to come over to you.
Yes.
Who would you tell, if somebody asks you, who are you? What's the core of Shivani? What would you tell us?
I wear multiple hats is what I would say. I do work in corporate HR strategy. That's my full-time career. And then I love modeling. So I've been modeling for 2.5 years or 3 years, if I'm not wrong. And I've done fashion shows, runways, photo shoots. Apart from which, I also love volunteering. So I work with a lot of nonprofits and try to get the change in whatever way I can. So yeah, that's pretty much about me.
I love that. So guys, let me ask you, what made you want to start a modeling career? There's so many things in fashion, but what made you want to actually be a model? What would you say, Rachel?
Wow. I didn't have a desire in the beginning. I just thought it was really cool when I watched people on Miss Universe and, Miss America on TV when I was a kid. And I was like, wow. That was after we got a TV, because we didn't have a TV for a long time.
Oh, wow.
But,
that's interesting.
I didn't really grow up with much, my family, they passed on things to me, and I didn't really have anything of my own. And when I got a little bit older and I was asked to model for a newspaper I worked for, that's what really launched my career. And then I was a mascot for a charitable fundraiser for literacy, and I dressed up like a mermaid, and people paid to take Polaroid pictures with me for $5. So
hey, that's a beginning.
Yeah, there's a start to everything, right?
You have to start somewhere.
But then I moved away to go to college, and it really, I also decided to be in Miss Ohio Teen USA, and I was a finalist, and I didn't have any training.
Wow.
And then, my career really took off when I moved to Cincinnati for college, and every weekend I was in a different runway show.
Oh.
And I was signed with agencies and so forth. And then I taught for agencies, and my career really took off. And I realized that I really loved it because I think where I came from growing up in a toxic waste donut where, it was post-industrial, there was nothing there except for cancer and addiction.
Wow.
And I could go on and on about this for a long time, but I wanted to show people that, hey, if you want to do something, you really can achieve it if you put your mind to it and you try. And I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that anything could be possible.
Yeah. And what do you say, 20 years later, right?
20 years later, look at me now,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, like you say, anything is possible. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. I love that.
Absolutely.
What would you say, Bryana?
Okay. It was a thought when I was younger, as a little girl, seeing, it was a thought when I was younger. I never thought that I would really get older and, pursue it until a couple years ago. I was working, but I was thinking of another source to make money. What else could I do to make money besides, my full-time, career? So, and at that time, I had a lot of people coming up to me like, you should be a model. You have to look like you're tall, you're pretty, you're thin. Not even that you have to have that look to be a model these days, but it was just, I had so many people coming up to me at the time that I'm thinking of another way to make money. So I just really started thinking about it like, should I really be a model? And I'm like, I've thought about it when I was younger.
Yes.
So it just looks like it's the perfect time to just go out there.
Mm-hmm.
All the signs were there, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get out there and do it.
Like I said, going into it, only having a year under your belt, you were doing a phenomenal job at it.
Thank you.
So it was just something that was becoming of you. I will just say that.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. And how about yourself, Shivani? What would you say? Why did you want to start this thing called modeling?
With me, it was like, I've seen modeling and photo shoots. It's basically there's no limitation. You can express yourself in whichever way.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what I love about it. How it started for me was one of my friends just needed another model, and she just happened to ask me, would you like to join? And I just joined for the photo shoot, and when I did, I loved it. So, and it's been going on since then, and I've been a part of so many shows and photo shoots now, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful journey.
So let me ask you guys, what is your signature? What are you known for? Rachel.
My signature is that I'm a green queen.
For everyone who don't know, what is a green queen?
A green queen is me. No. I'm a person that promotes environmentalism. Like I said, I rehab water wells. I didn't mention that on this show. I rehab water wells in Africa. I do a lot of fundraising for charitable causes. I was the community champion of Pittsburgh for 2021 for all my charitable fundraising. So I like to think of myself as a person that uses their beauty to basically raise awareness of specific causes that need help and volunteerism and funds. So I like to think that that is who I am, and I believe that I have implemented that goal throughout my life.
I love that. A model with a purpose. I love that. I love that. I love the platform.
Thank you.
We don't speak much about it. There are a lot of platforms, when we go into pageantry or even modeling, but you don't really hear a lot about the ecosystem a lot. So I applaud you for that. I do.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I promote, helping people to understand the causative factors of human health issues, including toxins, trauma, stress, nutritional deficiencies. I speak at wellness events.
Yeah.
So I'm more of a spokesmodel now and a fundraiser at this point.
Wonderful. So
Thank you.
Bryana, what is your signature? I know, like I said, I know you're a newbie in this, but what are you known for, or haven't we got there yet?
Right. No, I don't think we've gotten there yet on a
Okay.
signature for me, but I think it's going to be my walk.
Okay.
I've heard
Okay. I can
before,
see that. I can see that.
yes, I've heard before that, I have a fierce walk, more practice and everything, of course, but yes, I think it's going to be my walk.
I love that. So Shivani, let me ask you, we unfortunately with the pandemic, there have been so many things that kind of been put on hold. But what are some of the major events have you participated in? Maybe 2019?
2019, I believe it was Pittsburgh Fashion Week that I participated in. If I'm not wrong, that was one of them. It was styling around fashion runway show. Right, that was a good one. I did a couple of photo shoots. I was internationally published with one of the magazines with a pageantry.
Oh, nice.
So those have been a couple of things that happened last year. And last year actually gave me the confidence that I can go further deep into modeling.
Oh, it's unfortunate with 2020 and how things are happening, but I think now, like you said, you take the events that you've done last year and you can perfect your craft. And I think in 2021, there are going to be so many great opportunities that you guys are going to hit the ground running. I'm excited. What about you, Rachel? What are some of the major events that you have participated in recently?
Pittsburgh Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Meat bashes for She Deserves. I've done are you talking about in the fashion industry or just charitable work?
Well, fashion shows and any major photo shoots, campaigns.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of photo shoots lately for Mrs. Pennsylvania America, which
Oh,
is going to
wonderful.
be, Mrs. Pittsburgh Pennsylvania America 2020. I did not win this year, but I'm hoping I'm going to come back strong and win for 2021. So I've been prepping for that.
We'll be rooting for you.
Thank you. I sure hope so, because like I said, I can look back at that little 10-year-old and say, you did it.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of really cool stuff that I've been able to do. Like I said, with fundraising for She Deserves nonprofit for battered women.
Yeah.
Also with the Women's Small Business Association as the community outreach director. And then also for 2021, like I said, I'm really going to be changing up my workout routines. I'm switching from weight training to Pilates. I've got Mrs. America 1987. She was also Mrs. World, the first winner from the United States to ever win Mrs. World as my coach. So I think I've really got, a golden path laid out before me. So I'm really hoping that we take it home.
Yeah. Like I said, rooting for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I always ask, I want to be a little bit silly before we get into like the real deep questions, but I always like to ask my models if there was someone either locally or internationally that you will want to work with. Who is it? Bryana, give me the goods. Come on. Dish,
Okay.
give me some good stuff. Who would you like to work with?
Honestly,
Yes.
I'll say Rihanna. And it's so funny because I was about to be like, Rihanna, she's a music artist, but no, because she has her lingerie launch out.
Yeah,
So
she's hitting every market. She's hitting the fashion world. She's hitting the beauty industry. So
yes,
as a
and I
model,
love her.
I
She's
was going to say,
my favorite.
as a model, I could see you working with Rihanna because she's hitting all those industries.
Yes, I love her. She's my favorite actually. So and she
I
just seems
love
like
that.
she seems like a really cool person too. Like,
Yeah.
so I would love to meet her and work with her.
Yeah, I could see that. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. Rihanna's pretty cool. I could
Mine
see.
is
She
Luciera.
is. She seems really cool.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought that you were done.
Now I was going to say, I'm going to come down to you now, Rachel. Who would you want to work with, locally or internationally?
I am hoping to work with Luciera. She is a model and pageant training coach on the celebrity level. and she trains people that are in Miss Universe, and she's just amazing. So if you look up Luce, Lu, and then her last name is Sierra, Sierra. She is really amazing. She has YouTube videos for all you new models out there. Definitely take a look at all of those YouTube videos if you want to learn from home and you can't go anywhere during a pandemic. There you go.
Well, yeah, like I said, 2020 is, the year of perfecting the craft. So, like you said, you gave everyone good tips. You got to follow it, guys.
Right.
How about yourself, Shivani? Who would you want to work with?
Right. I don't have a person that comes to my mind, but I do know of this brand. It's called a Style Me Shake, and we're pretty big on Instagram. And we work with like models who are not really famous, but have really great fashion sense and posing sense. So that's the kind of brand that I would really like to, be featured on. Maybe I'll work with them one day.
Oh, nice. I love you all have great picks that I'm excited. I always say this. You never know. You put yourself out there, you really never know who you can end up working with. So put it out in the universe, put it out there, right? Taking it a little step further into like the more serious topics. With the pandemic, things have been pretty much at a halt. I think there are some things happening, photo shoots, but for the most part, the fashion weeks have been canceled, postponed to next year. How has this affected your modeling career? What would you say, Rachel?
I haven't been in nearly as many shows as what I usually am. I don't know if you check out my Instagram, but my Instagram is Rachel Rakovan Productions, and you can see how many shows I've done in all the other years and how many shows I haven't been able to do this year.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that's been a part of it. But I was asked to actually produce a show for Vogue Fashion Runway, and I asked 3 designers if they wanted to, because I produce shows too. And I asked 3 designers if they wanted to participate, and they all said, no, I don't want to be a part of anything right now during pandemic. So then I had to advise them to let me do it in the spring. So I think I'm going to produce a show in the spring.
That's smart, because we don't really know what's happening now. It seems like things are changing. And unfortunately, it seems like we're the cases are ticking upward and not downward. Yes. So unfortunately, like I said, everything is kind of being at a standstill for right now. Yeah. What would you say, Shivani? Has it affected, some of the photo shoots that you have done? I know the events are probably been at a standstill. Yes. But what about like photo shoots? What have you been experiencing?
Right. There were certain photo shoots that I was supposed to be a part of, which got canceled. Yeah. But then I did see people thinking a little out of the box, and they started doing FaceTime photo shoots. So,
I never heard of that before. Have you guys heard of FaceTime photo shoots?
No.
What's the quality or the resolution on that? I'm sorry. I can't imagine. Does that exist, or did they actually? How did it come out? That's the question.
For me, it was very good. I mean, I found them good, but I'm sure the resolution gets impacted because, when you're doing it in person, it's going to be really much better. But I got to do my photo shoots, which did not get canceled, like 1 or 2 of them, so I was really happy doing that. But, there were a couple of photo shoots that people were actually comfortable having these shoots in person, and they would get canceled. So it's been a difficult year, but fingers crossed for 21.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come off rude. I was just curious because I've had so many issues with photo shoots not coming out the right way because of fuzzy picture in the past. So I was curious.
Yeah.
That's all.
They're not great in terms of resolution.
I think a lot of people are just trying to find ways That's why I posed a question to y'all, because it really, how do you work through the pandemic when a lot of our things are in person, So I think a lot of people are just trying to just figure it out. How about yourself, Brianna? Have you experienced, some challenges through the pandemic?
Probably not as much is happening, but I feel like enough is happening. Like working with you, we did our fashion show and photo shoot. We did it outside, but we
Yeah.
were still able to do it. I was lucky to be in a fashion show back in February before this all came about and shut everything down. I just was able to do a photo shoot at the end of September. So everything, like, it is a challenge, and it is a little different, but it seems like everything is still able to happen though.
Yeah, as long as I think it's like you said, it's the proper protocol, and trying to be safe as possible, it's a difficult thing. Like I said, a lot of the modeling really are in person,
Right.
with the photo shoots, the events. So what did you say, Shivani? Fingers crossed for 2021. So guys, what kind of upcoming projects do you have for 2021? Rachel?
I have a fashion show that I'm planning for early spring, probably around April, and it's going to be for Vogue Fashion Runway. I will be selecting the models myself. I will also be selecting the designers, and I would like for you to be a part of it, Jamise.
Oh, okay. Well, we definitely can
I
talk
guess
about the
this is you.
details.
I will. I'll have to share the details with you later.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, like I said, I'm in intense training, which will be from January to July for Mrs. Pennsylvania America. And then I'm thinking that I'll probably, if they have it, I don't know, depending on COVID, but I'll probably be teaching for the Pittsburgh Fashion Summit again, where I was
okay,
teaching
nice.
modeling for. Well, this past year in February of 2020, I was the coach for the Pittsburgh Fashion Summit and taught about the 4 different types of runway. And I was linked up with Brian David, and, he was teaching about, how to take proper measurements and all of those things. So the producers of Pittsburgh Fashion Week, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be doing that again. If the pandemic subsides, we'll be able to, have another fashion summit. And then, of course, the Pittsburgh Fashion Week. So, of course, I'll audition for that like I always do, and Style Week like I always do, unless the pandemic, of course, gets in the way of that.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, guys. We have a lot of events, a lot of things to do. How about yourself, Brianna? You have anything maybe well, 2020 is ending. So 2021, you have any special projects that you're getting ready to do?
Yes. Well, actually, before 2021 gets there, I have a photo shoot next weekend with actually one of the designers that we worked with one of the weekends back in October when we did when we take for the fashion show and photo shoot. Melissa, yes, have a photo shoot with her next weekend. And 2021 Fashion Week working with you. That's about it for right now. I guess we'll see what comes along when it gets here. But
absolutely. I can't wait. How about you, Shivani?
A fashion show that might happen in next year. It was supposed to happen this year, but then it got postponed for the coming. I have a couple of photo shoots. I have a bridal photo shoot that's coming up, which I'm excited for because that's going to be something new. So yeah, a couple of photo shoots, and of course, working with you. Looking forward to the Style and Glam fashion show.
And modeling. Thank you guys so much. Shivani, if a designer or photographer wanted to, get in contact with you, how would they be able to do that?
Sure, they can get in touch with me on my Instagram or my email. That's how they normally get in touch with. My Instagram ID is shitty.org. It's AUG.
Awesome. And Bryana, how would, like I said, if somebody wanted to connect with you, how would they be able to do that? How could they contact you?
I'll I would say my number, but they would have to contact me before they get my number.
Do
So
you have a Facebook page or Instagram?
yes, okay, yes. Any of my social medias, Facebook, Instagram.
What's your Facebook name? So would it be Bryana Harris? They could.
Yes, Facebook, Bryana Harris.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And how about you, Rachel? How could someone connect with you?
Instagram is Rachel Rakovan Productions, Rakovan. And then my Facebook, you can contact me through Facebook, which is just Rachel Rakovan, or you can contact me through my pageant modeling training page. It's Rachel Rakovan's pageant modeling training. That's what it is. So
Awesome.
a few different ways.
So ladies, I want to thank you again so much for, giving me a little bit of your time to talk about these important topics, in modeling. Thank you guys so much. We'll talk to you later. All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.